Hey guys, welcome to my basement. I am going to show you guys around my basement. This is my workshop area. I'm going to be doing some work on my bike today, show you guys how I do bicycle repair as a blind guy. Alright, hopefully you guys can see this bike. This bike's not been ridden in quite a while. It's been just kind of collecting dust. It's a custom-made FBM Street Trials frame that I had made for me. Tires are flat. I'm sure it's dusty. But I'm going to be putting this hope brake on to match the rear hope that's on here, which might need a bleed. I have, I don't even know what brake, a BB7 that's dangling off of it. So we're going to see what we can do to get it rolling. So hopefully my camera angles are going to work for us today. So we'll see. Alright, so I moved everything hopefully to get some good camera angles. We'll have to see. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is pull this brake off. My trusty Y-wrench, I always use one of these. It's got a 4, 5, and a 6 on there so I can access all the right sizes. I also need a smaller one. Let me see if I can find my smaller one. I'll get my small three-way so I can take off this lock-on brake. Sometimes it takes a couple times for me to figure out what size I need. Unfortunately, not being able to see, a lot of guessing sizes sometimes. So I've got the grip off, get the brake off here. Disconnect this cable. Let me finish pulling this off and we'll be back. Alright, we got the brake off. We're gonna start putting the new one on, and hopefully we won't have to bleed this one. Put that on. Set the grip on. Y-wrench. Just loosely tighten this all down. What I do here is I measure with my fingers to see how wide they are apart, since these are both the same levers. Measure the distance. I want to get the angle about the same. So just snugly tighten this down, not very tight. Let's throw a wrench on this, lock on grip to get that to stay where we need it. So I can figure out what size I need, which is usually my struggle. That's this one. There we go. So get that on. Here. On the top. I don't even have a disc rotor on this wheel. I had no idea I didn't have a disc rotor. I'm going to have to find a disc rotor. Disc brake rotor. A lot easier if I took the wheel out. So obviously, without sight, doing this, I'm not the quickest all the time, but sometimes I can be. Alright, so we got this tight by hand tight. disc brake adapter on, calipers loose. The other thing is we're going to end up having to run this brake hose through the top cap, and I forgot I drilled this one out. I might be real easy to run it through, so I won't have to do too much. I won't have to break the olive off. So let me go find a disc brake rotor and I'll show you the next steps. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, it took me a little bit to find this rotor. It's an old bent Hope rotor that I'm using, plus some rotor bolts that took me a little bit to find. I'm gonna grab this 8mm and I gotta take the wheel off and start bolting up the rotor. So let's get moving. Alright, so got the wheel off, gotta mount up the rotor. The way I do it, because I can't see, there's usually a direction written on these. I just go on the feel of the arms of the rotor. Obviously, if it's kind of like a saw blade, that's the way I want it to mount. So I don't know, hopefully the angles are good on this. Sorry guys if it's not. Let me find a wrench to get torquing on this. Start getting some bolts in here. We'll just start loosely mounting these up. And one at a time. Get them started. And then we'll tighten them up. Alright, the next step here, let's tilt this down, is I drilled this out a while back because I didn't have an olive on a different brake I'd put on to be able to cut it and put a new barb and olive in. So it'll work out pretty good for us. I'm going to take this hose. Hopefully my angles are not too bad. I'm going to take this brake hose and I'm going to run it through the fork and up here. One, it's kind of the street trials style, and two, I plan to do bar spins, so we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to start working on that. Hopefully I can get a good angle of actually doing that. Alright, first thing we need to do is loosen this up. I kind of pre-loosened it. The second thing I need to do is take this top cap off with a 6mm. Take that all the way off. I do have kind of a long steer tube sitting up here, but what I'm going to do is hopefully not have to bleed this brake, but I'm going to take that completely off. Then what I'm going to do is fish this straight up through the fork. And I lost my... I didn't have to go back. Straight up through that. And then take my spacers, drop those back in there. And because I drilled this, hopefully this will fit right through. Ooh, this might not fit. I might have to pull the olive off. Nope, it fit. Sweet. I didn't have to disassemble it more. So I'll just hand tighten that down for now. And then we will slide this back on the brake. As long as you're not flinging it all around and not squeezing the brake lever, you shouldn't lose any fluid. So hopefully we don't have to bleed. Get that tight. Let's put this tight again. Put this cap down by hand. And then we will give this a quick little tighten. Alright, so the next step, find my, always looking for tools. I don't know where I put them. Sorry guys. Alright, so now, got the rotor on the wheel. We're going to slide this wheel up in here and see if we can get this Hopefully we don't have to bleed. See if we can do a quick adjust. This might take longer than a quick adjust, but let's see if we can do it once I find my wire wrench. So with a lot of these brakes, you can, oh, feels good, I don't have to bleed. Just pump it up a little bit, and then you can, while holding the brake lever tight, you can slowly tighten the brake bolts. And that one's really, really loose. Should be a lot easier with not this wire wrench, but I didn't feel like finding an L handle. I'm almost there. There we are. So let's see, it's probably going to rub because the rotor's bent. Oh yeah, look at that. Ooh, I think I have to put a different brake adapter on. We're hitting the top, so that was kind of a fail. This is how we do it. Alright, let's see if we can find a different brake adapter. Alright, so I took off the brake adapter to see what I had and compare since I can't see the numbers on them. So I came up with this one. We're going to mount it up and see if it works because I think it's going to be a little too big for what I need, but we're about to find out. So let's get this puppy mounted. And sorry guys if you guys aren't seeing any of this. I am totally guessing on angles on filming. I think I'm doing it right, but you know, blind guy trying to line up shots is not ideal. But I thought I'd give a shot at trying to film myself working. So we'll put those on from the other bolts. Sorry if you guys are seeing just me. Alright, so like this. Trying to give you guys a little bit of a glimpse of how I do things, which is a little different than most people do because they can see. So when you can't see and working on bikes, you kind of make up some new systems and methods. So let's get that. Grab my wheel down here. Hopefully the clearance is right for this. I have a feeling it is going to be off, so let's see where we're at. Oh yeah, we are way off. Alright, I gotta either, I think I'm going to put a 203 on here instead of a 180 because that's what I'm left with because I don't have the right adapter. So let me switch rotors real quick. Let me go find a 203. We'll be back. Alright, we got a 203 mounted up. It's a giant rotor for this little wheel. And with the doubling of the Hope brake and this rotor, this is going to be the most powerful brake in the world. And hopefully this all fits and measures up now. So let's see if we can make it work this time. I'm fearful that it's not going to work, but we're about to find out. Hold this wheel up. I think we have success. Let's see. Oh yes. Sweet. It mounted. It fits. It's the right adapter. Ooh, the brake feels really good too. I'll tighten down, see if it adjusts, then I won't have to center it any more than this, but I'm sure it will, because I always have to. Get this brake cable out of the way. Alright, yeah, it's rubbing pretty bad. Alright, let's see. Now, let me grab a zip tie. Zip tie this. Get this brake cable out of my way. You don't have to hear it rubbing. Grab some dikes. Let's see if we can center up this brake. Now, centering brakes for me is a bit of a pain in the butt because I can't see. The way I do this is I start by trying to line up the top edge, and this rotor is very bent, so there's a good chance it's going to just rub. That is rubbing minimally, but it's still rubbing pretty bad. I'm trying to center up these pads. Alright, so I set the pads back in and started from all the way in, because I think the brake had been squeezed at one point with it being off of a bike. So we set it back at 0. So let's see here if we can get this centered up. And my rotor is very badly bent. Very badly bent. All this is done by sound for me, not by sight. And I have caught a finger in the rotor before. It's not fun. I think I might have to try and straighten this rotor. It's pretty badly bent. Let's see what we got. So when I straighten rotors, I usually take a thumb and rub along the rotor to see where it's at. Let's see if we can just bend it by hand. Better, but it's not great. It just have to be how it is. I'm sure once I squeeze this brake, it's only going to get worse. So all I do is find where it's rubbing, roll it back, stops right, I hear it rub right about the caliper, so then I just kind of hand bend it, the palm of my hand. Now there's a pretty good bend on that. That is, I think I landed on it riding one day. Yeah, we got a couple bends. I'm going to do some work on this, see if I can figure it out, see if we can get it any better. But even where it's at right now, it sounds awful, but for some trials plate that I'm going to be throwing around and beating up, rolling pretty smoothly. Let me get that, see if I can straighten up this bent ass rotor a little bit, and we'll be back. Alright, we're back. After some bending of rotor, the best I could get it, it's really badly bent. The best I can get it is that, and that's going to have to do because I save old bike parts because you never know when you're going to need them in a pinch, and this was a pinch, so it is what it is. I don't have the money to keep spending on rotors. Back brake, I might have to put some fluid in. It's just a little low, lower than I want it. It's working, but not great. I think I lost fluid at some point. It's been sitting a while, so let's see if I can just top it off without having to fully bleed it. We'll be back. Alright, let's see. So hopefully the angle's good. I moved it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is hopefully not have to bleed the whole thing and just kind of let some air out. So we're going to take this cover off with our Torx on our rear brake. I got some 5.1 fluid. Very, very minimal. I don't even know if I have enough to do a brake bleed. I'm going to take the cover off. Put it down here on the bench. We're going to peel out our diaphragm here. Put that down on the bench. Then we're going to find a little bit of fluid. That's pretty topped off there. That's what it looks like. Ooh, this is going to be a mess. Alright, instead of doing it that way, let me go find a syringe. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm sure this is out of camera, I'm filling up this syringe with just the teeniest little bit of fluid, and we're going to top off that. Let's see if we can cycle some air out of this line without having to bleed it, because I don't want to. Let's see which one. So I use my finger to kind of feel in there, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Have to actually beat this brake. It's because it's been hanging and it had air bubbles. Alright, let's see. Let me find a rag. Air bubbles out of this line. Sit up higher than back wheel. Alright, we're going to let this sit for a little bit and hopefully it works. If not, I'll be bleeding. We'll be back. Alright, hopefully this camera angle's good now. Alright, so I let this sit for about a half hour and I just started pumping it up and it's come back to life. I think we're got all the fluid out. I'll have to adjust my TPAs and everything. But what we're going to do is we're going to roll this diaphragm back in carefully to avoid putting air in. Got that in. Now, what we're going to do is put the cap back on. Now my kid came down here to see what I was up to while I was letting that sit. And apparently I have a crap ton of spider webs all over my wheels on this bike. So I'm going to have to wipe those off. I don't know if you guys saw that. I did not. I'm just getting these all adjusted. Screws tight. Alright. Let's get this TPA adjusted. That out a lot. Oh yeah, this feels so much better. Let's get some rubbing alcohol and a rag. Put that on there. So after you mess with some fluids, wipe off all the alcohol. Get all that clear. Do it on this one since I disconnected the hose. I think we're good there. Good enough. Grab my wire wrench just to readjust this brake since I've rotated it up. Slow that out a bit. I think they're about the same level. Alright, now I'm going to take, let's see. Oh, I don't even have pedals. I gotta find some pedals. Alright. Let me put some air in the tires, throw some pedals on, and then we will, I'll take it outside, see how it goes. See you in a minute. Oh, I can't do a bar spin. Bike feels so funny. I can't do bar spin. It's been a long time. Right, here we go. Kind of caught it. Alright guys. In case that couldn't see where I was going. Alright guys, we're going to call it a wrap for this one. I'm really bad on this bike, I'm not used to it. I like the big bikes, but I'm going to try and get used to this one again and maybe actually pull a good bar spin. Maybe even up in the air and not just on the back wheel. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.